a Studio 113 production.
You're making it so awkward.
Why? I'm not doing anything.
No, because usually me and Courtney are like...
I feel like he's got a time clock. So
Yeah.
You know what I picture when you're at some place and they have that visual timer where it's like counting down the minutes to the next transition?
Oh, yeah, like with the red part? Yes. Kids love those clocks. Those are good clocks.
I bought one at the thrift store.
Okay. Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Courtney.
Join us as we delve into true crime, paranormal encounters, and all things spooky.
Grab your flashlight and get ready to wander into the darkness with us.
This is Wicked Wanderings. Hello, Courtney.
Hi, Hannah.
And we have a, I guess, special guest because you're never here anymore. Hello, Rob.
Hello.
What a warm welcome. I felt the warmth on this side of the room.
From me or from Hannah?
Both.
Oh.
Both is good.
So, Wanderers, we are going to be talking about spooky, abandoned, and weird amusement parks. Courtney's favorite because they have clowns.
Yeah, the minute I heard about what the topic was, I was like, oh, come on.
Courtney loves the clowns.
I'm feeling the tears welling up in my eyes about clowns, but I'm going to just try to not repeat definitely not about clowns. I'm going to try to come up with creative input that doesn't have to do with clowns.
Mm-hmm.
Amusement parks are supposed to be timeless,
Yeah.
right? They're built for joy,
Happiness.
rides, spinning around.
Thrill.
We got a local one. Right?
Music.
We got a local one right here. Six Flags used to be Riverside Park.
I think Six Flags is actually on the list. I mean, not
Not this.
the
not this
Agawam
site.
one.
Not the
Yeah.
Agawam one. You ever been to Six Flags or Riverside?
A long time ago, I'm beyond just not liking clowns. I don't like rides. I don't like crowds.
I
Don't like loud noises. My ADHD shows. Got a lot of sensory stuff going on.
So when we are in amusement parks, we always smell things too. Like even if
Popcorn.
you go to the Big E, popcorn, right?
Yeah.
Fried dough,
Cotton candy.
cotton candy, hot dogs, right?
Stinky BO people.
And then there's that.
Yes, definitely.
So when the rides stop, right? They rust. They're not usable anymore. The paint peels off. The gates are locked. That's when the ghosts move in.
Ooh.
And today, we're going to wander through the shadows of abandoned amusement parks. So the first one is going to be Mountain Park in Holyoke, Mass.
Ooh.
Very close to
Okay.
us.
Is
Mount-
that the one that was on Mount Tom?
Mount Tom, yes.
Oh, I have some good pictures I can share with the wanderers of Mount Tom.
From skiing?
No, from pictures of the abandoned amusement park that was up there.
Oh,
I do.
okay. I used to ski there when I was a wee little tyke, when it was still a Mount Tom ski place,
Rob's
resort.
dating himself.
Yeah, I know.
They do have the abandoned chairlift up there. They did the last time I was there.
hmm
I don't
during
remember seeing that.
during COVID, we actually hiked up Mount Tom
Yeah.
God, that was brutal.
and we saw the old wave pool they used to have.
There's an old quarry up there, too.
Mhm.
The quarry is a little, you have to be careful if you ever visit the quarry because you could easily fall or slip into
Not
that.
stable, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Mountain Park in Holyoke, Massachusetts. It opened in the late 1800s.
Mm.
It was the shining jewel of the Pioneer Valley, and families would take the trolley up the mountain for roller coasters, concerts, and even ballroom dances, which I didn't know. But by the mid-1980s, the rides were shutting down, the laughter faded, and nature reclaimed the Midway, which makes sense for you if you were up there at that time. Do you remember seeing the amusement park?
I don't think the amusement park was open when it was skiing still. I don't know the crossover.
I believe
When-
the amusement park had closed down, and then when nature started to reclaim the area, that's when they were changing it into. I could be speaking completely incorrectly, but that's the way it looks, even when you look at in the early 2020s when you were looking at kind of how things were abandoned. It looked like the other stuff was older, the amusement.
So the Mount Tom ski area opened in either 1960 or 1962 with most sources citing 1960 at the first season, others stating 1962 as the opening. So early 60s.
Yeah. It didn't have a terribly long run. It was only a couple of decades.
And then it closed in 97, 98 season.
So, but still hikers today who wander through the grounds, like me and Rob, they report strange experiences. Now, I think we were very focused on being socially distant when we did it in 2020 and not being near people and whatever. But apparently there's some strange experiences people have. They say they hear the distant sound of carnival organs echoing through the fog. Others swear they've seen shadowy figures moving in the mist where the rides once stood. Always just far enough away to make you doubt your own eyes, which, of course, that always seems to happen. But interesting.
I would say, so over by where the wave pool was, it was probably, so the lodge caught on fire before you guys had gone.
I remember you telling me about that.
So when I had gone last, you could go into the lodge. And so it was like the lodge was on your left, you're facing the wave pool, and there was like a mini golf kind of building off to the right. And I had gone up there about 3 different times. And one time I did have my friend Tina, Hannah, you've met Tina. She was like, oh, can you take my picture? I'm going to stand over here. And she took off ahead of me, as Tina does when we go anywhere.
Balls, Tina.
Yes.
The balls, yes.
Yes, balls, Tina.
Yes.
And she kept wandering, and I just remember it being dark, and she would go left, and I felt like I was going right, but still ending up next to her. And I was like, this is like a house of mirrors. I kept swearing I was seeing her over here, but then she was over there.
Interesting.
It was a very interesting building. I'm going to have to look back and see if I have pictures of that still, because that building was odd. It was a very odd building.
Love it. Number 2 is Lincoln Park in Dartmouth, Massachusetts.
Ooh.
And it closed after a roller coaster accident in the 1980s.
Oh.
Explorers claim they still hear the screams of riders near the skeleton of the old coaster. Even now, the rusty tracks just out of the trees like the bones of some long-dead creature.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
I haven't either.
So the roller coasters are still up?
Apparently.
The tracks a lot of times are up at abandoned amusement parks, but the coaster itself, like the mechanical piece, I think they reuse that probably.
Okay.
Because the tracks, they've been in the weather, they're probably not worth very much. I mean, scrap metal, but who's going to go up there and cut them down?
But they don't make coasters like they used to. Like,
They used to be wooden.
all wooden. And and Six Flags in Agawam used to have some. I don't know if they have any wooden ones anymore.
Yeah, so they had 2. Yeah, they had 2.
Like original ones.
Yeah, the Cyclone and I can't remember the other one.
I don't think they're there anymore, though. Or they've upgraded them.
They've upgraded them. They're metal, but they're still the same track.
But that doesn't matter.
I don't know. The idea of wood kind of freaks me out a little bit because you have to think about that. The weather, the elements,
they're gonna
wood breaks, it rots. It's not really a great material to build something that's going to hold weight on top of it.
No, probably not.
They just look sketchy up there. They just, there's just these beams to nowhere, and I'm afraid of heights also. So carnivals and me, we don't get along well.
Third one is Six Flags New Orleans in Louisiana.
That one I knew about.
Well, do you have anything you want to say before?
I have friends who have gone to New Orleans just to break in and get pictures.
Oh.
What?
If I can remember which friend it was who went there, I will ask him if we can use some of his pictures.
Excellent. So farther south, we have Six Flags New Orleans, and it was left for dead after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Everything was abandoned in place. Roller coasters rust, clown faces, concession stands. And urban explorers swear they see movement in the shadows, carousel horses shifting slightly, clown heads turning when no one is looking. And the park feels less abandoned and more in a waiting.
You said 2005? I mean, that was 20 years ago now. Wow.
But that still makes sense, though, because if you think about it, a lot of places like Mount Tom, they abandoned it with some understanding that they were going to abandon it. They closed up. They were like, okay, we're all done. We went bankrupt, whatever the situation was. When you're talking a natural disaster, it's just left. It's even more haunting, I would imagine, because everything is left exactly the way it was. And it's like it's waiting for you to come back and you're not going to.
This actually reminds me of the horror book that I read.
Great. It's going to be about clowns.
And what was this book called?
Okay, it was called Fantastic Land. It's by Mike Bakoven, but I read it last year. Actually, I read because the audiobook was fantastic. And it was about how there was a amusement park. I believe it was in Florida, though. And there was a hurricane coming through. And they tried to get everybody off of the park. But they couldn't get everybody, like all the workers. So it ended up being like until they could, like, the help could get to them. Like, they basically built their own society of, like, right and wrong, and they had groupings together that were against each other, kind of like very apocalyptic,
like cults
on this one property.
So
like, there was killings that happened.
This is a fiction book.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was a horror, you said, right? Was the genre?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was
Sounds
so
like
good.
The Purge a little bit, but like mixed with
Yes.
The Walking Dead.
If you listen to the audiobook, which I recommend, it basically was the interviews after the event. So they interviewed everybody that was at the park that was still alive.
That's such an interesting perspective for a book. I feel like everybody who's writing books right now is doing multiple POVs, and that's the way that they're structuring the whole book, or they're doing multiple timelines. So they're flashing between two timelines, but you rarely hear of a book that masters being able to go through interview or recollection.
Yeah, I highly recommend. But anyways, that kind of reminded me of that amusement park.
Give me the clown scale here. 1 being there's some clowns, but it's livable, and 10 being nope, just don't do it.
No, I don't think there was any clowns that I remember.
Ooh.
Goodness, a book about carnivals I can read.
You might actually really like it.
I'm going to try it, but I will let everybody know exactly how many times the word clown is mentioned, and I will report back to the Wanderers.
All right, next is Lake Shawnee Amusement Park in West Virginia.
I love West Virginia.
So built over a Native American burial ground.
This was just a recipe for disaster.
Yep. It quickly gained a reputation for accidents and deaths, from drownings in the lake to a child killed on the swings. Actually, I think I watched a ghost. I don't know if it wasn't Ghost Adventures. I think it was Kindred Spirits, but they did an episode on this one because I remember them talking about the Native American burial grounds, and there was a child killed in the swings.
We're just going to call it back from our last episodes here. Why are we allowed to build things on Native American burial grounds?
I know.
Where's Johnny?
Today, it's considered one of the most haunted amusement parks in America. Visitors talk about swings that move on their own, which they had happen, laughter drifting across the ground. So they had laughter, I remember, with the swing, I believe, because they asked the little girl if she wanted to play, and some things happened. And the unmistakable feeling of being watched, which, of course, you're on native land. Why wouldn't you even be
I
watched?
feel like most places, if you're in tune with the spirit world and alone, you're going to feel like you're being watched.
And Rob, I think you are in tune with the spirit world.
Am I?
I
doesn't
believe
wanna
you
be.
are. I mean, I envy your gift. I think it can be used in certain ways.
I haven't woken up in the middle of the night to see anything
Recently?
recently.
Great. Now tonight's going to be the night.
Do you
Okay.
find that there's a time that you usually wake up? Because that happens to me. And I've had a lot of, not so much where I'm living now, but where I lived previously, and I've talked about in other episodes, I've had things happen. And it's always between 3 and 3:30 a.m.
The
I
witching
don't-
hour. Absolutely.
I don't have a time, but I did take a nap a couple months ago.
Yep.
And I did wake up and I thought I saw a spider on the wall, but it was during the day.
Yep. I was watching TV
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm going to take a quick nap. It was like a Saturday or Sunday. And he took a quick nap and I was watching a show and he just bolts out of bed. I'm like, are you okay? He's like, you don't see that? I'm like, see what? And he's like, you don't see that up there. I'm like, honey, no, I don't see.
You're looking for Spider-Man or something?
Yeah. He's like, it's huge. I'm like, no, honey, I don't see anything.
Well, some people, I think, try too hard, and I feel like spirits don't want to show themselves to you. I mean, that's how I would be if I was walking around haunting the world. Somebody was out here, like, with their ghost box trying to get me to talk to them. I'd be like, joke's on you. I'm going to go prank the guy next door. Seems like a lot more fun. We have had no luck with the ghost box.
Did you bring it to your Salem trip?
I did. We did not use it.
It wasn't the right vibe for where we were.
It really wasn't. I think if we had time to go to like a graveyard or something, then maybe, but just didn't.
We need a
fit
day
weird.
trip for that, I
Yeah.
think. I think we should plan a day
Like
trip.
purposely,
Yes.
that's what we're doing.
Yeah, even if we stay overnight, but we do it like strategically.
Mhm.
Because technically you could even do like a Thursday into a Friday.
Yeah. Next one is Rocky Point Park in Warwick, Rhode Island. Entertained families for more than a century
Wow.
before closing in the 90s.
Wow.
The Midway is gone now, but people still swear the grounds aren't empty. Some say they hear screams from the Scrambler ride that once stood there.
Scrambler.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun.
Oh, that sounds dizzying. No, thank you.
It's kind of like the Flying Bobs, I think,
Flying
Bobs.
Bobs.
where they go in like the bobsleds.
What?
Sometimes I say things from Berkshire County, and it never strikes me as weird until everyone in the room looks at me like they just did. I'm going to Google Flying Bobs, and y'all are going to understand that I'm not cray-cray.
I mean, teacups. I think
I'm
the
about to call
teacups-
Brett and be like, Brett,
Yo, Brett.
Flying Bobs.
If you know what a flying bob is, text us. The link is down in the notes. In the show notes.
Call Brett, honestly. And I'm just going to read this.
Flying motherflucking Bobs.
Motherflucking.
Motherflucking.
You're going to have to post that on the Instagram.
Flying Bobs.
I still think you're making it up. Others report smelling popcorn and salt water drifting on the breeze long after the rides were torn down.
Mm.
Oh, I have to call his correct number. That would be... Imagine I call a random person from North Adams. They're like, yeah, I know the Flying Bobs.
Hey, you're
how
on
you
the...
doing?
Hey, what's going on? You're on the Wicked Wanderings podcast.
Hello.
Hello. I have to ask you a question, and don't ask me why. Just answer me, okay?
Oh, I love this game.
Okay, so there's a ride that I'm picturing at the carnival in North Adams, right? And it went in circles, and it was called the Flying what?
Okay.
What was it? It was the Flying Bobs, right?
Was it Flying Bobsled?
Yeah, but it was called Flying Bobs, but it was a bobsled.
Yeah, and it went in a circle like a merry-go-round or a carousel.
And like
Brett!
up and down.
It had like dips.
Yes. And it went in a circle, but like up and down like it would on like a ski trail.
Like a regular roller coaster, except it went in a circle.
So
oh my God. Hi, Brett.
So this was at a carnival?
Yeah, there was a traveling carnival that came to North Adams every year.
And it was called the Flying Bob.
Wasn't it in like the Price Chopper parking lot? Or like,
Yeah, North Adams is kind of ghetto, y'all.
I'm trying to think of where it was, because it was bigger than that. But like,
Wait,
where?
Was it the Adams Aggie Fairgrounds right on Kern Highway?
They didn't have too many rides, though. They
It had
more,
to have been
like,
Price
attractions.
Chopper. Because Price
It
Chopper
wasn't
closed.
far.
And that's when
Was
they
it
used the
near
parking lot.
Lanesboro somewhere?
Well, I think they had it at the Dalton Carnival, too.
Oh, maybe it was that one. No, because they had it in North Adams. It was at the mall.
There's no mall in North Adams.
No, but there's a mall in
but that's
Lanesboro.
That's what I mean. Like, was it in the mall? It was close, because, like, I went to it. Like, I drove with, like, friends when I was older.
So you remember it, though, right? Because you're on the podcast right now. You're going through the soundboard, by the way.
Brett, I miss you in my life.
Oh, hey, people of the internet.
I was sitting here and we were talking about, we're doing an episode on haunted amusement parks. And I was like, yeah, like the Flying Bobs. And Rob and Hannah both looked at me like I was absolutely cracked in the head. And I was like, no, it's a thing, guys. It's a Berkshire
She's like,
County
you know,
thing.
the bobsled. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I brought it up.
The cart thing they sit in looks like a bobsled, and it had, like, painted icicles or something.
Yes, it was blue.
And it was blue and white, and it said, like, the Flying Bobs, and it had bobsleds. And it just went in a circle, and it kind of, like, it was like it went uphill and then went back down, and it kept doing that.
So you guys not only have flying bobsleds, you guys have dragons. So we all know now that that's where everything is.
Pretty much. I'm just glad that somebody else knew what I was talking about because I said it and got looked at like I had 12 heads.
No, it's definitely real. I'm smoking a bowl, so pardon my language. But,
It's fine. She's like, I'm calling Brett.
We're
I'm
all
like, you
just
should.
having a beer, doing our recording, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to call Brett. So we hooked you up through the soundboard. If you want to hang out for a few minutes and listen to the rest of Hannah's list, you're more than welcome to.
Well, Brett, since you're smoking a bowl, I'm on my way.
oh, all right. Don't tell me twice. Spicy.
Well-
No, I'm not serious. I'm not coming.
That's a long drive.
Well, you're fired.
You're fired.
Immediately.
So do you want to stay on for the next one?
I would, except I have to go cook food.
Oh,
Boring.
wah,
Okay, but we will
wah.
reach out to you to schedule you to be on an episode because we need you to be a guest.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, make it something gay.
Do you want to do your own haunted gay
Oh,
episode?
yeah, you absolutely can.
Oh, no.
Okay, well then text me a list of ideas and we'll put something together and have you on for commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Teletubbies.
And you don't even have to come.
Teletubbies.
You don't even have to come to the studio. We can do it right on your phone.
Or we could have him come out and he could just stay at my house.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Queen. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Send me a limo, and, like, I'll be ready in 5 minutes.
All right. Well, thank you for backing me up on the North Adams culture that everybody else needed today. Have fun
Love you,
smoking your bowl. We
Brett.
love you.
Kisses.
North Adams is a scary place. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Brett.
Oh my God, he's such a great vibe. I love him. Oh, bye. All right, next one, Wanderers. After that lovely talk with Brad, I love
Sorry.
it. No, don't be sorry.
I
Awesome.
had to be checked on it. And the fact that he described it to a T from the picture I just showed you, I was like, it's because he's smoking a bowl. He's not smart enough to Google it right now.
I love it so much. We're in Spree Park, Berlin, Germany, everybody.
We're out the country.
I told you we were going far.
We're
So
out there.
cross the ocean.
Across the pond.
Yes. Spree Park looks like a horror movie set.
Mm.
I'm intrigued. Let's go.
Swan boats rot in the weeds. Dinosaur statues collapse into the mud. And the Ferris wheel still creaks slowly in the wind. This is very dramatic. Explorers have heard whispers in the dark tunnels and phantom footsteps pacing the grounds. The eerie grinding of the Ferris wheel turning on its own has been recorded more than once. Ooh. So the Ferris wheel's still up.
Mm.
Kind of like that.
Mm.
Next is Okpo Land in South Korea.
Ooh.
Oh, God. Guys, I'm sorry for language here. On Gyeonggi Island in South Korea, Okpo Land once bustled with families. But after a series of accidents in the 90s, including the death of a child on a duck-themed ride,
Why is it always a child?
the park shut down overnight. The duck car where the accident happened was left in place, frozen mid-loop for years.
Oh.
Locals whispered that the child's spirit haunted the ride, waiting endlessly for the day it would start again. I mean,
That's so sad.
Oh my God.
Yikes.
So growing up, my family, we had timeshare in Florida. My parents still have timeshare in Florida, in Orlando and Kissimmee, which is right next to Orlando. And we used to get a free day pass to a water park. It wasn't Wet and Wild. It was called something else. It was smaller, but they had this wave pool, and they didn't limit the amount of people were in there. And there was you could only go in there if you had a tube. And unfortunately, one of the days we were there, one of the kids slipped through the tube and he wasn't able to get up.
Because of all the tubes.
And he ended up drowning.
Oh my God.
And I will remember that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It's
That's
very
so
scary.
sad.
Very scary.
And that's why there's things like limits on them. And I want to
Right.
say, when I had gone a couple of times to places that had wave pools, there was you were not allowed to bring a tube in. You were
Right.
not allowed to bring a noodle or anything other than swimmies on children.
Yeah.
You were not allowed to bring any floats, which I always imagined was for that reason.
That's
Scary. It's
I'll
those
have
kids.
to text my parents and ask them what the
I hope
name
it
of that
wasn't
park
Wet and
was.
Wild because I feel bad, but Wet and Wild just sounds like a wet t-shirt contest waiting to happen.
No, Wet and Wild was a bigger park. This one was a smaller one. Let's see.
so it wasn't affiliated with Disney.
So the water park that we used to go to,
Yeah.
the name was Water Mania.
Water Mania. That's a better name.
Yes.
What better name?
Yeah, it wasn't Wet and Wild. That was a bigger one.
Next, we have Heritage USA in South Carolina.
Oh, I think I've heard of this one.
Not all amusement parks were about thrills. Heritage USA in South Carolina was a massive Christian-themed park. Well, there's your problem.
Oh, and you never heard of this one?
I mean, my mom didn't like amusement parks to begin with.
Mhm.
Even when my parents were divorced, my father, if he had free tickets, because whatever, and we would go to Six Flags Agawam, and we had to walk because the bastard was so fucking cheap.
Was it Six Flags yet?
Yeah.
It wasn't still
It wasn't
Riverside?
Nope,
Okay.
it was Six Flags. We had to walk through the woods. That's a whole other story, everybody. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So my mom hated Six Flags / Riverside. She hated it. So I'm not surprised that she wasn't like, I'll send my kids here. No, she's not about that.
Hmm.
So it was,
So would you guys walk through the woods and get in for free?
we would walk. So he didn't have to pay to park.
Ah.
But he would have tickets for us to get in free, or at least a couple of us to get in free.
Do you know how much parking is now at Six Flags?
No.
So I was driving past it a couple weeks ago. This was just before the bachelor party. And I was just picking up some nicotine products in Connecticut because it's cheaper. Anyway, so I was driving past Six Flags and I saw people holding signs out like $10, $15, $20 to park. And I was like,
What are they parking for?
$20? What? And so I Googled how much parking is. How much do you think it is?
Probably like $40.
$75 to park inside Six Flags.
That's insane.
So I'm always surprised. Like, okay, so we go to the Big E. We talk about that on the podcast all the time.
Yeah.
Part of going to the Big E is that the Big E hosts it, but they're renting out their space kind of to all these vendors too. Right. So I understand why when we go to the Big E, we pay an entry fee, which is not that expensive in my opinion.
No, it's not. I agree.
I also feel like paying to park on their property is also not unheard of because when you combine those two together, you're still under the $75 to park at Six Flags.
100%. Absolutely.
It's $20 for a ticket to go to the Big E. And if you park on property, it's $5.
Right.
It's more expensive to park at the houses or the businesses around the Big
They're
E.
just closer usually. Sometimes.
Less traffic to get in and out.
Correct.
I don't think places should be able to charge you an entry fee into their facility and parking. I feel like, especially for a place, I mean, maybe if you're in Boston or New York City where there's not any parking, but for a place like Six Flags that has ample parking, they have a huge parking lot.
But if you have a season pass, is it still that expensive?
They probably sell you a parking pass for the season too and make double the money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's insane to me.
Does anybody know if Disneyland, if you have to pay to park at? I'm really intrigued about that.
I think you do. At all theme parks, you have to pay to park.
But that's probably why it's
crazy.
cheaper for families to stay there in a Disney park resort so they can just take the shuttle in, right? And so you get to the parks without having to park.
It's been so long since I've been to an amusement park. I can't even remember how, because my dad would take us, but it's been so long. Because if you go to a carnival, right? The carnival's Brent and I were just talking about, you paid your $5 to get in or whatever, and then your tickets for the ride, but nobody charged you to park when you got there. You had to walk up to the ticket booth and pay them.
Yeah.
I feel like parking is like, how do you expect your guests to get here if they can't park?
Yeah, exactly.
When I go to the grocery store, I don't pay them to go into Big Y to buy my products.
Yeah, if we were ever going to do a Disney World again, I would stay on resort or somewhere that was like, okay, you park at our resort and we'll shuttle you in like that.
Or take an Uber.
Definitely a perk. Yeah, and I'm sure Uber does a ton of business because of that too.
Yeah.
It's just something I've always thought about, but I'm like, that's so weird. Even concerts, if you think about, you go, you pay your ticket, and unless there's no parking on the venue, then you don't pay to park.
Or if you pay for your ticket, that's guaranteed parking.
Right.
Like, that's just silly to me. Where did we go with this? Oh, yeah. So we were talking about Heritage USA in South Carolina, which was the massive Christian themed park and resort created by televangelist Jim and Tammy Faye Baker.
You ever heard of them?
No.
In your Christian childhood?
So I'm sure my grandparents probably know them. So after scandals, of course there's going to be a scandal with a Christian amusement park.
Gasp.
Anyways.
Christians
In the
and
90s?
scandals.
God, sorry guys. Feelings. After scandals and a hurricane, it fell into ruin. Good.
I was a hurricane.
Scandals and a hurricane.
Yes.
The
And
scandals were the pertinent part.
Yes.
here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
today, explorers report hearing church bells tolling where no bells remain and faint hymns echoing from the amphitheater as if a service is still being held in the empty air.
Wow.
I sometimes wonder if people create those kinds of things themselves.
Oh,
When I
100%.
because
Knowing
there's-
what it is.
There's certain places like hospitals and churches that have a certain...
Right, you hear like the beeping or the crying out.
Psychology is very impressive. You can tell yourself, oh, we're at a church. Oh, do you hear the bell?
Yeah.
And you will hear the bell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now we're next to Daddy Park in Belgium.
Oh.
So Daddy Park in Belgium is a small family amusement park with outdated, dangerous rides. It shut down after a string of tragic accidents. It's
Of
always
course.
a freaking accident.
I'm really curious about why they named it that.
So it's DADIPARK.
Mm.
Dottie Park.
Daddy Park. Now locals report children's laughter echoing through the abandoned playgrounds and shadowy figures darting between crumbling slides and swings. The place built for joy has become a playground for ghosts.
That one gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Mm.
I don't know what it is about that last one that's just like...
They speak German in Belgium, right? Or is it French? What do they speak? Or is it Dutch?
No, it's not Dutch.
It might depend on where they're at
Okay.
in Belgium, right?
So the daddy might be a translation to another word in whatever their native language
yeah.
is.
And the last one is Pripyat, Pripyat, Pripyat
Sounds Russian.
amusement park in Chernobyl, Ukraine.
Oh, we all know what happened in
Yes,
Chernobyl.
we do.
Yes, we do.
Perhaps the most haunting of all is the Pripyat amusement park in Ukraine. It was scheduled to open on May 1st, 1986, but it never truly did. The Chernobyl nuclear disaster struck just days before, and the park stood empty from the start. That's so sad.
Mm.
The Ferris wheel, bumper cars, and rusted rides still stand as ghostly monuments to a day that never came. Urban explorers and workers in the exclusion zone report hearing children's laughter echoing through the empty lot, even though no children ever rode those rides. Some even claim the Ferris wheel creaks in the stillness, turns slightly, though there's no wind. I don't know about that. Like, I think Chernobyl itself is just spooky.
Yeah.
But if the park hadn't even opened, like...
I mean, I guess unless it's on an Indian burial ground again.
I know, right? Seriously.
Too soon for that, but...
So, you know the YouTuber I watch, Indigo Traveler?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he actually went to Chernobyl with a guide.
Which is very dangerous.
It's very dangerous because there's still
active, radioactive.
Yeah, it's still radioactive. It's not as bad as it used to be, but you can spend a little bit of time there. But he actually went through some of the buildings and then went into this park and saw it. And fun fact about Chernobyl, there's actually dogs that were left there that have become wild Chernobyl dogs. So they've become their own breed.
Well, that makes sense.
But they're wild dogs.
It's interesting they don't wander too far beyond the limit. You know what I'm saying?
There's military that guards it. You can't even get in there without crossing a checkpoint.
But they even care about the dogs. They won't even let the dogs back out.
So if you ever stood at the gates of an abandoned amusement park, you know the feeling, the heavy air, the sense that something is still there, just out of sight. So what do you think? Is it all in our heads? I think some of these places are definitely all in our heads. Or do these places really hold on to spirits long after the ride shut down? So tonight, we close the gates behind us. The Ferris wheel is still, the lights are dark, but the ghosts remain. And that was our wandering through the haunted echoes of abandoned amusement parks.
Beautiful. Nicely done, Hannah.
Thank you. Thank you, Wanderers.
That was a great episode.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Before we end... Hannah, do you have any horror movie recommendations?
I do, and I actually got better with how I was rating based off of our last talk.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure that I had our overall rating and then a gore body horror rating.
Yeah, because that is important to some people. Some people like horror, but they don't like that gory, bloody stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind.
A little is okay.
I have come to learn that there are some horror movies out there that I will watch. So that is good having that rating.
It's a good trigger warning, I think, too, for listeners.
Okay, so this is actually one that I watched recently. It's not an older one. It's called It Feeds.
It Feeds.
It Feeds. And it actually had one of the vampires from the Twilight series.
Ooh.
One of the sisters.
Okay.
Which one?
Alice.
Alice.
It was Alice.
So
she plays a mom in this one, and she's supposed to be a therapist, but she actually has other abilities that come with it, but it's not like, it's on the down low.
Okay.
So depending on like if you need certain therapy, quote unquote, she gets referred these people. So this girl, okay, I should back up a little bit. So the father is passed. And so the mom still has this business of being a therapist, and the daughter is coming of age and helping her mom like basically do some type of like onboarding thing.
Okay.
Like, what do you need? What kind of therapy are you looking for? And this girl actually comes without her father, like in a panic. She's like, I need your mother's help. And she's like, well, what kind of help are you looking for? I don't know. Maybe this is not the right fit for us. And the mom comes around the corner. So the Alice Cullen comes around the corner and sees basically like this demon attached to this little girl. So I actually gave this a 4.0 overall.
Ooh.
I absolutely ate this up.
is this out of a 1 to 4 scale?
Yes. Oh, no, 1 to 5.
1 to 5. Okay.
1 to 5 scale. There's a lot of trauma. There are demons. So there's like kind of a cult aspect. And it is heavy. It's not an easy horror watch, which I don't know how else to say it. For the gore body horror, I would say it's a 4.5.
Okay, so there is kind of a lot of it.
So if you don't like that, but it has a very interesting ending. So
Okay.
if that's your vibe, It Feeds. I absolutely ate it up.
So the actress's name is Ashley Greene, right?
That sounds right. Yep. But she played Alice Cullen. So it was kind of like she had longer hair because, you know, Alice in Twilight had like short hair. So I kept like cutting her hair off in the movie. I was like, oh yeah, I see it. She's a mom now. But yeah.
That's a great recommendation. Thank you, Hannah. And as always, check your trigger warnings on things for yourself.
Yes,
Mental
please
health is
do.
important. Buddy watch if you need to, if you want to watch it, but you don't want to see the gore. Just, be kind to your own mental health.
Courtney. No, go ahead.
I was going to say the final movie of the Conjuring series, The Last Rites, is coming out on September 5th. I want to go see it. I'm asking Courtney if she will go see it with me because I don't think Rob will.
No, thank you.
But that's another horror movie that's finishing out soon.
I'll go to that one.
Excellent. So, guys, if you need a buddy, go with a buddy.
Courtney, do you have any recommendations?
I don't have any on-brand recommendations right now. I have been elbow deep in personal things and work things, and I've done a little bit of ARC reading lately. So I did read a Ghosted ARC read that I can put the link in the show notes.
Oh, yes, your paranormal one,
yes,
right?
it was. I guess I did. It was a paranormal. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, which anyone who knows me and my Goodreads knows that I'm kind of a snob.
Yeah. You're not a snob. You're just,
I'm particular.
You're particular. Yes.
And I do have some good mystery and thriller recommendations if people want those, but that's a little bit different than what we talk about here.
All right. So my recommendation would be, it's a new YouTube show I've been watching lately. It's called Lesnoy, Lesnoy.
Okay.
And they just build these small little cabins out in the woods, and that's it. So it's good to put on when you're trying to fall asleep,
Yeah.
And there's no talking. It's just them building. And sometimes it's sped up at 1.25, but it's...
They're not building them for anybody?
They're building them for themselves. I've come to the conclusion, I think there's about 4 guys, and it definitely seems European, like Eastern European.
Okay.
I mean, they don't talk or anything. They're just building, but just from the vehicles I've seen and stuff like that. But it's very relaxing.
So I love that you brought that up because it actually reminds me of, so if you like the Calm app, one of the stories is about these basically hideaway cabins in the Scottish Highlands that have been used for basically centuries. I think they were mostly hunting cabins, but they've used them now for hikers that are hiking through the Highlands. And even, well, it's not the Queen anymore, it's the King, it's his house, but they've actually taken what was kind of like an outhouse and they turned it more into a cabin for hikers to go into. So it's just, most of them are just places to put a cot and a place you can have a fire, but it gives you shelter for a night or two. And so it kind of reminds me of that. I don't know if that's the same thing.
And that's literally how big they are. I'd say, 10 by 10. There's enough room. They usually build some sort of bed and a fireplace.
Where you put a mattress of some sort down.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, when you need shelter, you need shelter.
Exactly.
When you need to sleep, you got to have something to watch.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for having me on again. It's fun being in front of the mic instead of, in the studio editing this and putting it together.
Now you know what to expect.
Don't let him fool you. We don't need to be edited. We sound great the first try.
We're magnificent. And on that note, thank you, Wanderers, for listening. We love you.
Bye, Wanderers.
Bye.
Thanks for listening today. Wicked Wanderings is hosted by me, Hannah.
And co-hosted by me, Courtney.
And it's produced by Rob Fitzpatrick.
Music by Sasha M.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave a rating and review, and be sure to follow on all socials. You can find the links down in the show notes. If you're looking for some really cozy t-shirts or hoodies, head over to the merch store. Thank you for being a part of the Wicked Wanderings community. We appreciate every one of you. Stay curious, keep exploring, and always remember to keep on wandering.
A Studio 113 production.